Tonight on NewsVision, the longest government shutdown in U.S. history has officially come to an end. We'll tell you how this might affect you.
The real human impact is never fully recovered.
Plus, for the second semester in a row, a student at the University of Miami was hit by a rogue firework during a school celebration. We'll tell you what happened. And later on, the Miami Hurricanes men's basketball team wins against the Stetson Hatters. We'll preview the rest of their season and what to expect from their roster. These stories and more on tonight's show, and it starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of NewsVision. I'm Johnny Muschin.
And I'm Taryn Jacobs. Thank you for joining us as we are following developments out of Washington, D.C.
The government shutdown is officially over after 43 days as President Donald Trump has signed a bill into law that will extend funding for government departments until January.
The Senate and House both narrowly passed the bill, and many politicians on both sides are both angry and relieved. Washington might feel far away for many Americans, but the ramifications are hitting home. The reopening of the government is having real-world impacts on Americans today. More services are becoming available again with the return of furloughed federal employees. They're set to get back pay, and some experts predict an economic rebound.
Even though it gets made up in the measured GDP data, the real human impact is never fully recovered.
For people on Obamacare, the reopening could mean their health insurance costs will more than double. The bill does not guarantee an extension of expiring subsidies. Democrats vow to keep fighting.
Either Republicans finally decide to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits this year, or the American people will throw Republicans out of their jobs next year.
The House Speaker says he wants program reforms first.
I'm not going to guarantee a vote on ACA unreformed COVID-era subsidies that is just a boondoggle to insurance companies and robs the taxpayer. We got a lot of work to do on that.
It's unclear when flight schedules will return to normal, but SNAP benefits should be available again soon.
Food should not be up for a bargain. Everyone should have the right to eat.
For many programs, the bill provides funding through January. The president is urging Senate Republicans to reduce Democrats' power in the chamber before then.
If we had the filibuster terminated, this would never happen again.
Air travel has been especially hard hit during the shutdown, and it will not be back to normal for a while. Today, nearly 1,000 flights were canceled around the country because of air traffic control staffing issues. Aviation regulators say these travel disruptions may continue as airlines slowly rebuild schedules after reducing flight operations.
I think it's been effective, but we are watching this on a daily basis. Where is the data? Because we're trying to manage risk in the system to make sure people fly and fly safely. We're going to start to alleviate the restrictions that we're at 6% now. We'll alleviate that only when the data says we should.
Airlines warn travelers to still expect delays and slower operations in the days and possibly the weeks ahead.
And Miami International Airport is one of the several major airports affected by staff shortages.
Melanie Lowe is at Miami International Airport with more on how travelers may still be impacted. Melanie, how's it looking over there?
Guys, the government shutdown has officially ended, but air travelers are still feeling the effects. As of Monday, the Federal Aviation Administration has cut 6% of flights at some 30 major airports. Now, those cuts were mandated to slow air traffic as a result of staffing issues related to the shutdown. And although the government has reopened, officials say that travelers should still expect delays and cancellations heading into the weekend. And heading here at home, Miami International Airport has been affected with some 20 flights canceled since Sunday. And these officials say that airlines independently choose which flights to cut. And so far, international travel has not been targeted. Now, the rates of cancellations may decrease, but again, experts maintain that it's all dependent on when these workers return. For now, live in Southwest Miami-Dade, Melanie Lowe, UMTV.
Thank you, Melanie. Tuesday was Veterans Day, and Miami has been celebrating the service of veterans all week. One event that marked the occasion took place on Sunday morning in Tropical Park, where the organization Go Run Miami hosted a 5K titled Honor Our Veterans. Hundreds of runners took part in the run that honored the service of veterans in the Miami-Dade community. With more than 70,000 veterans in Miami-Dade County, Go Run's founder, who is an Air Force veteran, wanted to make sure his community came together to salute the veterans.
Freedom is not given, it's like it's earned. So, and that's why, it's like I'm so happy that it's like I was able to serve this country, and I'll put the freaking uniform again anytime. Right?
This was the third of Go Run Miami's holiday trilogy. The series saw participants collect medals that, when put together, showcased a map of the United States representing the values veterans have fought for. The funds raised by Go Run help fund several of the charity efforts, including beach cleanups and shoe donations for impoverished communities in South America.
Veterans Day was also commemorated on campus, recognizing students who had served and those who continue to serve. The event, sponsored by the Veteran Students Organization and Veterans Resource Center, showcased how military members and alumni continue to serve the Coral Gables community, bringing a spirit of selfless duty, valuable knowledge, and life experience to campus. During the ceremony, ROTC cadets led the presentation of colors, followed by a performance of the national anthem by Frost School student Jack Potter, who is the son of keynote speaker Lieutenant General Laura Potter, honoring his mother and all who have served.
So the transition from military to civilian life can be really difficult for students especially, and so I think having resources like the Veterans Resource Center and the VA certifying officials and people that are looking out for students as they make that transition is imperative to a successful transition in both an academic and community setting.
The ceremony symbolized the university's ongoing commitment to supporting close to 300 veterans and active duty service members pursuing higher education here at UM.
Students on campus are still talking about the homecoming celebrations that took place last week. One of the more popular events during that week is the Alma Mater competition. It gives student groups a chance to participate in a tradition that's been a part of the university for generations. Each organization has a chance to create performance that starts with the original alma mater before transitioning into their own remix. Groups use vocals, short musical sections, and choreography to tell a story that represents their members and their culture. This year included performances by the Hurricanettes, Federación Estudiantes Cubanos, United Black Students, and others who brought their own interpretation to the stage.
I find that the tradition itself is, really rewarding. I've seen a lot of orgs participate over the years, and it's a really inspiring thing. I think it takes the spirit of our organization, the commuters, that togetherness that we try to foster, and helps put it out on the stage for everyone to see.
The Association of Commuter Students took home this year's title, marking their third straight win in the competition.
But for some, homecoming was not all fun and games. Several students and alumni were hit by fireworks sparks during UM's homecoming fireworks show on Friday night. According to the Miami Hurricane, Maxwell Holton, a fall 2024 alum, was standing on campus's Fate Bridge on Lake Osceola when a fireworks shell hit him in the face. First-year student Isabella Romarock also sent a video from the celebration showing burns by fireworks sparks. More students have also come forward with their own firework injuries, including those affected back in April during UM Centennial Celebration fireworks. The University of Miami sent out a written statement to students. It says, the university advises that if a student was impacted by a firework on Friday, they should report the incident to the Division of Student Affairs at 305-284-4922 and or UMPD at 305-284-6666.
Food trucks are a regular sight on campus, and they're very popular across South Florida. I had the chance to check out one food truck that is trying to provide both tasty food and an inclusive message to the community. On paper, the Square Bowl, located just outside downtown Fort Lauderdale, is your average spot to get a delicious and convenient meal. However, the food isn't the main focus of the business. It's the staff.
I'm a food associate on the food truck, so that's what I do. And I also have autism too. I've matured a lot, and I can tell it in myself when I look in the mirror in the morning and I'm like, how did I get from such a young child to this, to me being mature and stuff like that.
But it's not just those on the autism spectrum who have an opportunity to work at the Square Bowl. The truck is open to anyone who has a developmental disability for employment. And the reason why is to give individuals from different backgrounds a chance to learn the workforce without fear of judgment.
What we have here is an opportunity for individuals with developmental disabilities to work and have a job and have a career. You may have a developmental disability or part of the neurodiverse population, but we're all the same and there's nothing different.
Now, the truck travels to feed their community and to share their goals, and their impact is felt well beyond the pickup window.
One woman came over to me and said to me, I have a brother that passed away, and how wonderful it would have been that he would have had this opportunity in life. And that's the difference that this makes.
This job also allows for workers in the neurodivergent community to build their skills so that they can continue working, whether it be in the service industry or in something more high profile.
I see them gaining more confidence the more they do, and when you let them go on their own and see how far they can take it, it's pretty interesting.
And for workers like Ariel, it's not just a job. It's a chance to grow and inspire others in similar positions.
Do it. Do it. It's going to be challenging at first, but do it. Because we have good customer service and we have an amazing food and an amazing team running it. So,
and the wonderful thing is, I think the world is ready for this. And if we open our minds and see that we're all the same, we'll accept each other's differences. And I think that goes across the board for anybody.
And if you'd like to try some of the delicious food and meet the staff at the Square Bowl, you can visit them at the David Posnack JCC in Davie. And to find out if the truck is traveling to an area near you, you can go to their Instagram at the Square Bowl for their schedule and more info on their mission. Now it's time for a short break. But when NewsVision returns, where do exotic birds go for their annual checkup? We will take you to the only such place in town. And cloudy with a chance of raining iguanas, we will tell you why iguanas are falling from the sky in Florida. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with NewsVision. A light show courtesy of Mother Nature was on display as far south as Florida Tuesday night. A geomagnetic storm created spectacular displays of the aurora borealis, also known as the Northern Lights. The beautiful colors were spotted across much of the different United States, including right here in Florida. If you missed it, you may have another chance as the lights are expected to reach their highest levels in 11 years by the end of this year.
Johnny, were you able to catch them on Tuesday night?
Listen, Taryn, I would have loved to. I heard about it, but it was absolutely freezing this week. I had to get a jacket for it.
It was definitely so cold out, and I definitely want to go visit those Northern Lights one day when it's a little warmer out. And tell us, will it still be cold in the coming days here in Miami?
Taryn, I definitely agree that those temperatures are just a little bit too brutal for me to go and enjoy those Northern Lights. On Tuesday, we saw that Miami was breaking their record for the coldest November 11th that we have seen on record. That last record was set in 1991 with 53 degrees, so we've been seeing a lot colder with that colder air mass that was moving into the area. Taking a look outside right now, Miami is one of the only areas, actually the only area in Florida that is in those 70s still. Definitely still some cold conditions that have been joining us, but our high temperatures are staying below that 80-degree mark for the next few days, but they will be ramping back up to what we would normally be expecting for November at 82 degrees as we head into early next week. Luckily, though, we will have some dew point temperatures that would be very comfortable as we head into early next week. You can see 56 on Monday, which will mean that we have some lower humidity to enjoy as we head into early next week. Right now, we have some wind gusts that are a little bit moderate. You'll see that they ramp up a little bit as we head into those early morning hours tomorrow. They'll stay consistently high as we head throughout the day, ramp back down as we head into those overnight hours. But as you're heading to the game, might be back up to where you might be expecting, but not a lot of precipitation as you can see from
our scoreboard graphic right here. Almost 0% precipitation, very comfortable temperatures as well as you are heading out to the NC State game as well. As for our 7-day forecast, the precipitation values are staying a little bit higher on Friday and Saturday, but they will dissipate as we head into next week with some high pressure that we're going to be seeing. Once again, sticking right to those average temperatures as we head into early next week. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ann. And it's not just the humans who are feeling the effects of the cold front that passed through South Florida this week. You might have heard about iguanas falling from the trees when the temperatures drop. Yeah, that happens. Wildlife experts say frigid temperatures can send the reptiles into a stunned condition, which causes them to lose control of their muscles and sometimes fall out of trees. The iguanas are not dead, they're just briefly paralyzed. The Wildlife Conservation Commission says frozen iguanas should be left alone until they recover and run off.
And speaking of the cold weather, Christmas Wonderland at Tropical Park in Miami is now open for guests to get into the holiday spirit. And Vivian Amoya joins us live from Winter Wonderland. Vivian, are you feeling the holiday spirit over there?
Johnny, the holiday spirit is in the air. Today is the grand opening of Tropical Park's annual Christmas Wonderland. From now through January 4th, guests will be able to experience the Christmas magic here in the city of Miami. With more than a mile long of themed holiday lands, Christmas Wonderland is the largest holiday attraction in the United States, featuring rides, games, food, and much more. The rides, hosted by Magnificent Midway, include a wide range of thrillers like Eye in the Sky, which stands 150 feet in the air, as well as the largest traveling Ferris wheel in North America. For guests who enjoy a more chill holiday experience, they can immerse themselves in a 360-degree igloo, take photos with Santa, or grab some delicious fair food.
So being here feels really lively. It's a lot of smiles, it's a lot of people, everyone's happy, people are trying food, trying rides, and just everything. Like, it's amazing.
The park also hosts theme nights like Firework Fridays, Furry Fam Night, Jingle Jammies Night, and Ugly Sweater Night, which can all be found on their website. Live from Tropical Park, Vivian Amoya, UMTV.
Thank you, Vivian. Off the causeway of North Bay Village sits a rescue center that works to help Miami wildlife to heal and get back into their natural habitat. Mackenzie Eason is in studio to tell us more about the hospital.
Despite Miami's rich and diverse ecosystems, there's a lack of rehabilitation centers for our wildlife. And living in a growing urban area comes with environmental challenges that can harm crucial species. I had a chance to visit the Pelican Harbor Seabird Station and meet some of the workers there who are committed to the native animals in our environment.
Miami resident Molly Stefan works at the Pelican Harbor Seabird Station, which has served as the only full-service native wildlife hospital in Miami-Dade County for the past 4 decades.
As a wildlife rehabilitator, I am responsible for taking care of our patients, making sure that they get the treatments that they need, making sure that they're properly, diagnosed and we know what's going on with them.
Molly's love for animals started when she was a child, and her passion has grown into a career of environmental stewardship.
I grew up in a family of bird watchers, so that definitely contributed. We were always I was raised to always, notice birds and be aware of that stuff, and I just had always a really big interest and empathy for animals, so I would care for every, living creature.
Molly has worked at the facility for the past 2 years, and her passion for her job has not gone unnoticed.
She definitely brings a lot of energy. She's super energetic, she's super passionate. She's definitely a typical bird nerd.
The Pelican Harbor Seabird Station cares for hundreds of injured or orphaned native birds and wildlife every year. And Molly believes rehabilitation centers like this are crucial for conservation.
We get a lot of endangered species here, so oftentimes when we build and you are constructing things, we're constructing on places that would be their home, but we really need people getting these animals into wildlife rehabilitators. So Pelican Harbor, call if you ever have any animal questions.
Mackenzie Eason, UMTV.
Back here on campus, the university put a spotlight this week on the fight to protect Florida's outdoor workers. Students, staff, and community members filled the Cause for Cinema Monday night for a screening of the documentary from nonprofit 6 Eye Films titled Without Shade, Without Rest. Two of the filmmakers and leaders from the Coalition of Immokalee Workers and We Count attended the event. These are organizations pushing for stronger safety laws protecting outdoor workers. Their message is urgent. More days above 90 degrees means more workers falling ill and some dying from extreme heat.
Right now, 34 people have died due to extreme heat. And we're here fighting to put a stop to this so that we lose no more lives because of severe weather.
Last year, Florida blocked cities and counties from creating local heat protection rules for workers. Groups like We Count and the Coalition of Immokalee Workers hope screenings like this one can build public support, raise awareness, and push lawmakers to revisit worker safety standards.
Time for another break, but still ahead, Canes basketball is continuing to roll with another dominant win, and the Sensations get a nice surprise to start off their season this semester. This and more coming up.
You thinking about retirement?
Of course I've thought about it, but there's all this stuff in the way.
Oh, you're not kidding.
The house, the kids are going to college.
My new car.
Car? You bought a new car?
Oh, hey, you should meet my friend Avo. Avo's a retirement coach. He'll help get you started.
But what does Avo tell you to do?
You don't know? Focus on your future. Your goals can still be met.
But how?
Target your tomorrow. And use the Avo bet.
You sing?
Not really. A is for taking action. Start off with a plan.
You built these letters?
Yep. V is for variety. There's so many ways you can.
I follow you.
Come on. O's for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice sign.
Thanks, I made it myself.
Cool.
Welcome to sports. I'm Jaden Cohey. NFL legend Rob Gronkowski has announced he will retire once again this week. He signed a one-day contract with the New England Patriots to officially retire in the red, white, and blue. The four-time All-Pro holds several tight end receiving records and was selected as one of the 100 greatest players in the NFL Centennial Anniversary team. Miami's men's basketball is making an impression in the early season. Now 3-0 on the season, they're coming off a dominant 41-point win against the Sensen Hatters on Monday night. At the Wasco Center, the Hatters kept up a strong lead in the beginning, but Miami made sure to switch the narrative on the game. Forward Malik Renew led the way with double-double, 20 points and 10 rebounds, leading the team both points and rebounds for the night. Earlier in the second, Noam Dorvat makes a pass under to Renew, up 2 for the Canes, and 8 minutes left. The Hatters found themselves outmatched as Renew makes an assist to Sheldon Henderson, adds 2 more for the Canes. Let's see if Miami can keep up that energy next Thursday against the Elon Phoenix. Miami football got their spark back during their homecoming win last Saturday against Syracuse, 38-10. This one marks their first step back in getting into the college football playoffs. Early into the second half, Malachi Toney throws a sporadic attempt to Carson Beck. He's going to run it all the way home for the Hurricanes touchdown, the first of the game. Not even a minute later, Ricky Collins, quarterback for Syracuse, throws to who? To the Hurricanes. Keontae Scott is going to secure the Hurricanes' second touchdown. After this victory and 2 major ACC losses from Louisville and Virginia last week, the 16th-ranked Hurricanes now have a leg up in the college football playoff predictions. And looking ahead, Miami can keep the ball rolling this Saturday against NC State. And besides the athletes, there's another group on campus that is present on the field and at various Canes games. Juliana Warnock tells us it's a job to bring all the energy to the Hurricane athletic events.
At the University of Miami, the Sensations dance team has always brought the energy. But what's happening here in this studio might be their biggest moment yet. The Sensations aren't just about performing at halftime. They're built on connection and a real sense of family on and off the stage.
Ooh. It's so corny, but like the team, like the girls are my favorite people ever. Ever since I came here for my first clinic, I knew that like this was the team that I wanted to be on. This was the most supportive group of girls that like I could have ever found, especially at this school. They're so hardworking. Everyone is so motivated, both like in and outside of school and dance. They're just well-rounded.
The Sensations practiced wherever they could find space because when you love to dance, any floor will do. They showed up early, stayed late, and never stopped moving. Inside this bright mirror-lined studio now, there's a reflection of more than just movement. It's a reflection of what it means for athletes to finally have a space of their own.
Being able to have a space where like you can actually practice and actually see what you're supposed to be doing right and wrong has been super helpful.
For over a decade, the Sensations have been representing the U with pride, performing in front of thousands of people. But until recently, they haven't had a space that they can call their own. And behind this door, it is more than just new floors and mirrors. It's recognition and it's respect. This August, the Sensations didn't know what was waiting for them. They walked in expecting another practice and instead found a studio made just for them.
She was like, so we're gonna come in here and it's gonna be super beneficial for us. And we were all like, okay, like we're ready. And we walked in and it was a studio and we were all like, oh my gosh. And my first reaction was like, wow, I didn't expect this because I thought I'd be dancing in a gym.
For the freshmen, this space is all they've ever known, but even they understand how much it means to those who came before them.
Seeing this was honestly so cool, and seeing all the vets' reactions was honestly so special because some of them were crying, so excited, just that they finally got to have this space. And obviously I came in having this space right away, which I'm so grateful for and thankful for, but it completely changed my mindset because I thought I would just be dancing on a gym floor. Yeah,
this studio is more than a room. It's a step forward for athletics and for dance as an art. And as they keep showing up, sweating, laughing, and growing together, these walls will hold more than echoes of music. They'll hold the heart of a team that finally has a place to call home. Reporting for UMTV, I'm Juliana Warnock.
And finally, with the semester coming to an end and the effects of the government shutdown, plus a million other things, we are all a little bit stressed. Amanda Mohammed now introduces us to one Miami yoga teacher who encourages her students to practice an unusual form of therapy.
This is the doing of the Miami Scream team, which begins its weekly meeting in a much calmer way. It all started in summer 2025 when yoga instructor Marissa Cardenas began ending her free weekly classes at the Margaret Pace Park in downtown Miami by encouraging her students to scream.
I was having a really stressful week and I came to free yoga and I asked my friends who showed up if they wanted to scream with me. They all agreed to do it, so we stood by the water and just screamed.
It could be anywhere from 20 to 40 seconds. You can get a couple screams in there, whatever you're feeling. It's really, no rules. I sometimes can struggle with being embarrassed, but when I'm around other people or my friends, and we're all doing it together, I think that kind of lowers down.
According to an article from Harvard University Medical School, any type of exercise releases endorphins, aka the body's feel-good chemicals, which bring more oxygenated blood to the brain. But yoga in particular elevates levels of a brain chemical called gamma-aminobutyric acid, which decreases anxiety and is associated with a positive mood. As for screaming, Psychology Today says a short shout can release stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol.
We're all coming to this realization as a collective how important it is to kind of release our emotions. I'm excited to see it continue to expand all over.
Well, and now we have Amanda Mohammed here with us to learn more about your experience visiting the Scream team. Now, Amanda, obviously very unusual, screaming and yoga, but what did you think was more therapeutic, doing the yoga or screaming?
Yes, Johnny, it is very unusual, but fun fact about me, before coming to college, I was a dancer my entire life, and I used yoga in my, warm-up routine. So yoga and its benefits, that was really normal to me. It was the screaming that was a whole new ball game, but let me tell you, once I really just worked up the courage to do it, which it took a minute, I will be real, because it's an unusual thing to do. But once you do it, you really do physically feel that tension just leaving your body. It's incredible.
Do you think you're going to be using this at times when you feel stressed out now?
Let's just say you will see me there during finals.
I might be joining you as well during my stressful times.
Listen, pretty much everyone here might need it after the finals that we have going on just in a couple of weeks.
UMTV team bonding. I mean, what's better than that?
Definitely. Yeah. That's all the time we have for this edition of NewsVision. Thank you for tuning in.
We will be back next week, same time, same place, for our very special hour-long final show of the semester. Have a great night.